We have the #1 agent with eXp with us, Elizabeth Riley. Everybody else say hi to her. Okay, we're setting up YouTube right now. We have the #1 agent with eXp with us, Elizabeth Riley. Everybody else say hi to her. All right, all right. Let's see, we are live. How exciting. December 2nd, 1 p.m. If you are here to hear about eXp Realty, you are in the right place. I am David Harbour, your host for the next. We're going to try to keep this to 30 minutes. And I'm getting some feedback here on my YouTube channel. But we want to keep this to 30 minutes because there's no way in the world I'm going to be able to share everything about this wonderful company in less than 30 minutes. So what I want to do is I'm going to focus on the highlights of how this company is drastically different than 99.9% of the brokerages out there, why it's the fastest growing real estate brokerage that's ever existed, and why we're almost at 40,000 agents in just a little over 11 years. How exciting. We're going to let John in from Virginia Beach. So if you're coming in right now and you're live, you can ask any question on the chat session. Everybody's muted. It's just going to be me kind of talking about things, but I'll answer any questions that you have and doing some screen sharing. So I have some notes and things like that just to make sure I stay on task. Everybody ready to go? Thumbs up. All right. So as I mentioned, my name is David Harbour, and I am a real estate professional just like you. Hey, John, how you doing? I've been in the business 22 years. I love what I do. I really do. I think we're in a great industry. And I just, my wife is jealous that I actually love my job. But it is evolving and it is changing. And obviously it has a lot to do with the economy of scales, brick and mortar, and also technology. I'm going to do a quick screen share and I'm going to give you kind of my background. And the reason why I want you to know my background is because sometimes you get a lot of people talking about things that they're not necessarily well informed on. I want you to know I'm just like you. I am a real estate professional. So I've been in the business 22 years. Prior to that, played a little football with the Washington Redskins. If we have any Dallas Cowboy fans on here, you can get off right now. And then I was fortunate enough, right when I got done playing, by the grace of God or dumb luck, I was introduced to somebody at my church. He gave me a job working on computers, and I did it for about a year. Didn't like the industry, but I got a job in the NBA. And so I actually worked in the NBA and NHL for 5 years, and I thought that was my path. And I was going to head down to the Orlando Magic on my 5th year. I was taking the next step up. Something happened where somebody got in the way of my, transition. And it was literally 7 days later that I quit. And I said, I never want to have a boss again for the rest of my life. And so I got into real estate. And man, was I lucky. During that time, I was with Weichert, great company, started, took way too much of my money, went to Remax, and I was fat, dumb, and happy there for 12 years. And I wasn't even thinking about leaving. During that time, I had a team of agents. I was fortunate enough to do HGTV with Sabrina Soto on a show called Get It Sold. So life was good. And it was about that time, some of you may know this person, Tom Somerville, who was a good friend of mine at Remax, said, hey, Dave, I want you to take a look at this company. I think they're the next big thing in real estate. And this was literally almost 10 years ago. And I said, hey, I'm with Remax. They're the biggest company. And no knock against Remax, but they're the #1 company. And he goes, yeah, but I think that these guys have a business model that's unlike any other. And he said to me, he said, listen, ask yourself these questions and then let this sink in. And I'm going to share with you what he had to say. He said, what is your exit strategy from real estate? You have a retirement plan with your brokerage. And I said, well, yeah, I'm going to buy some properties and I'm going to do 401k. He said, no. Does your brokerage offer you any type of retirement? And I said, no. He goes, well, okay. He goes, if it were to offer you that, what would it look like? And I said, I don't know. I didn't even think about it. I was just selling, and on that vicious cycle. He said, do you own any of your brokerage? Do you have any equity? You're helping build this brand, but do you own anything in the brokerage? So at the end of the day, you have something. And I felt embarrassed. I said, no. And he said, last thing, if you went to your broker right now and you said, would you share in the revenues with me? I'm going to help you build your brokerage. He would say, there's the door, buddy. No, I'm the broker owner. I get the money. And it was like a light switch for me. It hit me like a ton of bricks of, okay, maybe I better listen to what he's saying. And I thought to myself, yeah, here we are as real estate agents telling our clients, consulting them as professionals, buy real estate, invest in it, invest in your future for equity. Yet here I was as a real estate agent renting my license with a brokerage. And case in point, 10 years ago, when I left Remax, I got nothing. I got absolutely nothing, not even a Starbucks card. And that was the final confirmation when I came to eXp and I realized there is another way. And so I'm going to share with you how this company is drastically different. Okay. As we're going through it, ask any questions that you want. And what I'm going to say to you is, if you're here and I invited you or somebody else invited you, immediately after this, get with that person and go into detail more. Even compare numbers of, what your expenses are versus what your commission is versus what your opportunity is for retirement. Before I jump into that, there's been a change in the business world, and I think we all know it, is that the pendulum has swung from brick and mortar to now everybody's kind of virtual. I mean, UPS and Amazon and all these trucks are driving around my neighborhood delivering stuff, and yet when you go to the mall, nobody's there. And this is a great article I'm going to share with you right here, but it came out of Inman a few years ago, and it's basically talking about in 2009, 2019, guys, 9,500 stores went out of business, brick and mortar. In 2020, that's supposed to be 25,000. So there's a paradigm shift, and it's because of technology, really, that businesses are going out because of the brick and mortar and the overhead that these companies have cannot compete with online shopping. Well, guess what? The same thing is happening in our industry. The exact same thing. You go into most brokerages and it's a ghost town. You won't see any agents there. They're empty. And so that's kind of the epiphany of eXp Realty and how it started. I'm going to share with you right here. This company was actually formed by a former Keller Williams agent. And every time I see him, I literally give him a hug, and I want to say, man, I'm so glad that I met you. His name is Glenn Sanford, super humble, came from KW, top producing agent. He basically said, is there a better way to create a brokerage where the franchise owner or the owner doesn't get the lion's share of the equity and revenue, but yet the agents who are helping out can also benefit from that? And so through that and a couple of other founders, Brian Culhane, they created eXp Realty, a cloud-based brokerage. Now, cloud-based brokerage is simply, we utilize technology and we don't have the overhead brick and mortar offices, which quite frankly, with capital expenditures, that's the biggest overhead expense. I know that we have some brokers on this call right here, and they could probably attest to that it's really, really tough for agencies with our razor thin margins to cut checks for those fancy offices and leather couches and all the support staff and everything. There's nothing left over. And so with technology today, most agents don't even go into the office. According to NAR, most top producing agents are working right out of their homes or they're mobile. If you have your laptop, I can write a contract, I can view the MLS, I can do virtual tours, I can meet them anywhere, anytime. And so Glenn said, number one, we're going to get rid of offices. Number two, we are not going to be a franchise or a sole proprietor ownership. The agents are going to own the company. And I was like, what? Yeah, that's right. Every agent within eXp, when they sell their first home, they get issued shares in publicly traded stock, NASDAQ stock. If you look up our call letters, EXPI, free. You don't pay for it. He basically turned the real estate model upside down and empowered the agents. So our unique business model is such that we don't have any offices. We don't own any overhead. A lot like Airbnb, a lot like Netflix, a lot like Uber. We're a real estate professional company. We have some of the top agents in the world, but we don't own all that overhead. And so our compensation model for those agents is such that they can sell, they get great tools, unbelievable training, and they can earn stock 6 different ways. And they can earn revenue sharing, which I'll share with you here in a second. That's right, I said it. Share in the revenues of our company, not only now, but 10 years from now, provided you're still an agent or you have your license, you can still get residual income. That's powerful. You know, I have my 2 boys, and I don't have the pictures right here, they're up here, but that was one of the other reasons that I thought, God forbid I got hit by a bus. I want to leave something for those boys. I couldn't do that before, but thankfully to Glenn and this business model and eXp Realty, it's a game changer now. I can. We're going to go to what is eXp Realty and how are they different? Okay, so eXp was founded by Glenn Sanford, as I mentioned. They became a publicly traded company, and we already talked about what makes them different and unique. But here's the other thing is because we don't have the overhead brick and mortar offices, we're able to, I'm letting a few more people in, sorry guys, we're able to expand and grow. I'm going to show you a slide here that's going to blow you away. Since 2009, this company has literally grown to almost 40,000 agents. 40,000 agents in just a little, 11 years. We are in all 50 states. We're in a number of provinces in Canada, 8 countries, and we're just getting started. So I came on board, we were only a couple hundred agents, and I've seen it grow every year. And it's not because we have the best logo or the best colors. I think there's a time and a place for shifts to happen. You know, we talked about different brokerages, and I'm going to go back to this slide right here, which I think kind of gives you a real good understanding of the different types of brokerages and the evolution. You know, Century 21 did a great job of franchising back in the 70s. Everybody had a yellow jacket and they were selling. And then Dave Liniger came along, and you had to pay 100%. You got 100%. You paid a monthly fee, and they became number one. And then Gary Keller created a wonderful company called Keller Williams, and they introduced profit sharing. And they are currently, I think, still number one. But because of technology, because of the brick and mortar model, because of franchising, overhead costs, that's where eXp came in. And I humbly believe that we will be, in the next 5 years, the largest brokerage in the world. Now, I'm not Nostradamus. I can't predict the future, but I can predict the past. And 11 years, we've gone to 50 states and 10 countries, or 8 countries, soon to be 10. That is pretty powerful. And in all those different scenarios, it's not to knock the agents. There's great agents in every brokerage, but it's the business model. It's like if you could put the best race car driver in a Yugo, and they are not going to go very fast in a car. But when you give them a Ferrari like eXp, the opportunities are limitless for their business. They can do unbelievable sales, selling, listing, foreclosures, whatever it is that they specialize in, and have a second and third rail of revenue and income and equity. Incredible. I never had that before. I wish I had this 22 years ago. And it's really kind of simple as this. Most brokerages, they're selling. Well, guess what? We can do that at eXp and do it very well. But here's the other one that I didn't have. Building equity, real stock, NASDAQ stock. And as I mentioned, 6 different ways. I can earn it. I can earn it by introducing somebody to the company and they make their first sale, by capping, by if I was an icon agent, which I can explain later, that's if you're a top producing agent, the company will actually give you back your cap in stock. It's unbelievable. And then we have an agent purchase program where you can buy, take 5% of your commission and buy it at a 10% discount. You're automatically building in equity. And then the last one is revenue sharing. You actually have the opportunity to help the company grow by introducing agents, not just in your market, but anywhere that eXp is currently licensed. And guess what? You get paid on it on a monthly basis when they sell something. That's part of our business model. And a lot of people get confused with that and they might call it something that it isn't. It's real simple. We don't have the overhead and we're not paying franchise fees and we're not paying a sole proprietor. The money is going back to the agents. 50% is going back to the agents for helping grow the company. Isn't that the way it should be? I mean, Glenn, he didn't have to do that. He really didn't. But he did. And I'm so, so thankful that he did. Here's something else that a lot of people may knock us on. They say, well, wait a second, you don't have any offices. I need to bring somebody to an office. Hey, no problem. For the company that doesn't have any offices, you actually have a lot of offices. See, we have actually partnered with Regus offices. So every agent has the ability to use any one of their cafe style office facilities for free. It's part of your low monthly fee. So now where I was, I only had one office to go to. Here, I'm just using the state of Washington, D.C. and Maryland, and we have a number of people in our area. There's 42 offices. Google where you are and look for a Regus office. You'll be able to use that office. Meet somebody there, use their Wi-Fi, drink their bad coffee, whatever. But that's part of being mobile and being able to have access to many, many different locations. Now, a lot of people say, well, wait a second, what about training? Well, this is another layer of this company that we probably don't do a good enough presentation of, but I know in my last brokerage, and that's only where I can compare, is that maybe we had somebody once a month come in and show us about Instagram marketing or some type of targeted marketing or compliance. Because we're set up and we're literally all part of a family, we're trying to help one another out in any way we can with our businesses. We have at eXp 50 plus live classes each and every week. What I'm showing you here is just the calendar for today. I mean, we have Airbnb for agents, grow and build and scale with video, lead broker stand up, let's see, fast start, mobile office. Literally, it can be from, I'm a brand new agent, what do I do with this lead, to I've got a team of 10 agents and I want to know how to structure their agreements and set up a CRM and everything in between. It is so empowering. And you say, well, why? Why do you have so many classes? Why do you have so many offerings? Well, because at my old brokerage, and most likely at where you are, if you went to the top agent in your office and said, hey, will you tell me all your secrets on how you're successful? What do you think they're going to say to you? They're going to say, bye-bye, get out of here. You're my competition. I have no incentive to help you out. But eXp is set up totally different. we have people all around the country. And, I'm going to embarrass her, but we have Elizabeth Riley on here. She is the most giving agent with eXp that she shows. She's the top agent with eXp. She shares how she does it on a regular basis through teachings, iConversations, which is a specialized class for top producing agents where they share all their secrets with other agents. Now, why does she do that? Well, it's because the company is set up to incentivize you to help and share and help those people that are with the company. That is revolutionary. Most brokerages, there's a lot of vertical walls here, and I'm not looking to help anybody out. There's no incentive to help out. Those are broken down. If you're a newbie agent and you need mentoring, we have an unbelievable mentor program. If you're an agent with a team and you want to learn how to expand that team, we have those, and everything in between. It's tough for me to put into words the relationships and the dynamics of eXp compared to the traditional brokerage model. On a daily basis, anybody that I've introduced to the company, obviously I have a financial interest in if I've helped them and sponsored them, but that is really my goal, is now to help them with their business. And I know, I keep saying this, I didn't have that incentive before. I didn't really care. If I sat in a meeting with 50 other people, I could care less about what their production was, how they were doing, what their personal development was. That has totally changed. We're here to help one another out. And it is it's so exciting. It's refreshing, waking up every day. And, Glenn Sanford, our founder, had a wonderful talk a couple weeks ago about purpose. And I know that I've shared this with a number of folks on this call, is that having a purpose to help other people out is, you have so much energy and electricity that it just adds to the bounce in your step every day. I know that sounds corny, but hey, other things that are given to this company for the agents is the technology. Let's see, I have I think a slide here just showing some of the different technology that we have, but it's everything from KV Core, which is a lead generation website. Literally, if you were to purchase this yourself, it would be $500 to set up and $500 a month. You get it as part of your low monthly fee. You get SkySlope, Breakthrough Broker, which is a full marketing suite. You get Facebook Workplaces, eXp Offices, and a whole plethora of mobile apps. And then to really kind of emphasize what Glenn, I call him Glenn because everybody calls him Glenn, but the emphasis of what this company is all about, it's agent centric. Now, I know a lot of companies say that, but Glenn has really created a company that has checks and balances. And so this is an agent advisory board right here. Oh, there's Elizabeth. And we actually have agents here that we bring problems, issues to. They're always constantly looking for ways to make the company better for the agents, not the company, not the franchise owner, not the brokers, but the agents. And so couple this with our 9 core values and the fact that we have an agent on literally our board of directors for the publicly traded company. You have a voice for the agents on every aspect of this company, from compensation to tools to training to vision. I mean, I'm blown away by it. We're coming up on 27 minutes here, but the thing that I want to kind of follow home with here is that if you're an agent here and you're watching this, or you're thinking about, kicking the tires on this, or maybe you've heard about eXp, but you haven't heard the full message, you need to take a better look. You really need to understand, because there's a lot of people that I've talked to that didn't really understand everything that the company has to offer. And once they did, they go, oh, wow, really? No. Yeah. And I don't want to point anybody out, but there's a number of people that heard this message years ago that sat on it, stewed on it, and they realized, shoot, I'm coming with these folks because nobody else is doing what they're doing. I'm going to end on a couple of quick things here. Number one, with eXp's business model for agent attraction, you have the ability, guys, to literally grow your business as much as you want. And so I'm going to turn this screen sharing off. We are in 8 countries. Now, normally, if any other brokerage went to 8 countries, they'd go, whoopee. Well, here, this is your business. Glenn has given us a business in a box. And so what that means is any of you watching, we just opened up in Mexico yesterday. If you have a relationship with a brokerage down there or an agent down there in the areas that we're opening, you pick up the phone, you do a Zoom conference, you introduce them to the company, you fly down there, whatever it takes, and you bring them on, they are now part of eXp, your team, and you get paid on it. You get paid revenue share on that individual. I mean, let me say that again. You get paid on it. That is extremely powerful. Now, I'm going to share with you last thing here about the actual compensation of the actual business model so everybody sees it. When you come on board with this company, it's everybody is on the same page, okay? And so what I mean by that is, I'm going to do the screen share again. This is the breakdown. And I want you to look at the overall picture, because a lot of people who are maybe with 100% go, well, I'm with 100% and I only pay a small fee, and that's way better than what you have. But what they're not looking at is all the stuff that you have to pay for out of your pocket that might be above and beyond that. Number two, do you have the opportunity to earn stock where you are for free? And number three, do you have the ability to earn revenue for the rest of your life by introducing people to the current company you're with? Well, here at eXp, literally, you introduce 5 people to the company in a year, and you are at zero, net zero. You pay nothing practically just by introducing people to the company. So here it is. To get started, it's $149 for a startup fee. We have a low monthly fee of $85 a month. That gives you access to every Regis office, a KV Core website, which, by the way, $85 isn't even getting you a KV Core website. SkySlope, all the tools that you have, training, Verbella, which is our 3D virtual platform. You only pay a broker review fee and a E&O insurance when you sell something, okay? Then once you cap, it's an 80-20 split. Everybody in the company, because we're publicly traded, nobody gets any special behind the door deals, 80-20. Once you cap at 16,000, which is about 2.8 in production, 2.8 million, you paid in 16,000, you go to 100%. You have an anniversary date, okay? 100% for the remainder of the year. Not too shabby, right? As I mentioned, I'm going to show you this real quickly. Sorry, I'm flipping right through this, but this is the Rev Share portion. I don't want to spend too much time on this. And when you talk to the person that introduced you to this webinar, let them explain this. But this is, you don't have to do this. You don't have to introduce people to the company. Nobody is forcing you. There's no obligation to do this. But we're growing faster than you can, count chickens. And it's because of this brokerage is offering things that no other brokerages have. You might as well introduce it to somebody because they're going to come on by somebody else. This is how you can actually get paid on different levels. And then the last one is the actual stock. As I mentioned to you before, you can earn it on your first transaction, when you fully cap, when you bring somebody on board and you help them sell something. when you're an icon agent, which means when you cap and you do a certain production. And then the last one is our agent equity program. Guys, as I mentioned, I can't possibly tell you everything that this company has to offer. But what I can tell you is there's a reason why it's the fastest growing brokerage that's ever existed. And you might as well find out everything about it before you say no. That's what I would say. Know what you're saying no to, because I can't tell you the people over the last 10 years who said no initially, and then they came around and then they said, gosh darn it, I wish that I'd really looked at it when you showed it to me the first time. And they're on board with us, and it's great, and we're glad that they did. But it's just a different type of brokerage, and we're not like anybody else. And let this video speak for itself. This is, you can't hear the actual audio, but this is our 3D virtual platform. So think of this. We're here up in the upper north. It's a nice snowy day with about 2 feet of snow. Would you rather get in your car and go to some stinking class, or would you rather log into a 3D virtual platform and have 50 live classes a week and learn from some of the best, not only in the country, but the world? And so that's where we are, guys. That's what eXp has to offer. I can go into detail and tell you all about, everything else. They have healthcare that they also offer agents. There's a branding store. There's so many things, but the greatest thing that I can do is my time is my most precious asset. And the fact that this company has given me the opportunity to free up time to do the things that I really want to do, whether with my family or even with my business, is a game changer. And so the thing that I would say to you is get back with the person that sent you here. If you're watching this and you don't have anybody that sent you here and you're just watching it, you can certainly go to my website, schedule a meeting with me at www.bestbrokeragemodel.com and share this with anybody else. If you're an agent and you're watching this and maybe you're not good at sharing the company, not that I am, I just do it whether I'm good at it or not, but share it and use this as a vehicle to let people know what an awesome brokerage this is. And I always tell people, this is my last stop. This is it. There's no other place to go. Because if you know of something better, please let me know, because I'll go with you. I'm loyal to my family, not my brokerage. But this brokerage has something that's nobody else is able to offer. And I feel so blessed. So that's it, guys. I'm signing off. Thank you. Thank you so much for your time. And if you have any questions, you can reach out to me. It'll be on YouTube. We'll share it again. And hey, you have an awesome holiday season. Thanks again, guys. I'm looking forward to growing with each and every one of you guys. Roger, Mario, Johnny. All right, guys. And thanks for our special guest here, Elizabeth Riley. You'll meet her at one of the conventions holding one of her trophies of being the top agent. Love you guys. Take care.